Hello to all my scrapbooking friends out there. Welcome back to Scrapping the Stash with Gail. I still can't scrapbook, but I can make progress. So today I'm going to share with you how I prep my photos in Canva, the decision process I use as to what photos to use on my layout, and what it means to crop to the action. Thanks for joining me in my craft room today.
So, what does it mean to crop to the action? It actually means to just cut out the dead space in your photos and focus on the people, the moment, or the story that the picture's telling. Now, I tend to zoom way in, like the photo on the bottom there of my grandson in the swing. I was actually about 20 feet away from him when I took that photo. So I really zoomed in to fill the frame with my grandson. However, what that limits you to is if you're going to print that photo off at, say, Walmart or Walgreens or Shutterfly, you're going to have a 4x6, and it's going to have to stay a 4x6 because there's really not a lot that you can cut out without cutting out the swing or Oliver. Now, the top photo is zoomed way out. And so if that's going to be printed as a 4x6, you can cut out tons of stuff from this photo to make it a smaller photo. You could cut out the smaller kid on the side. You could make it more of a panoramic so that it's just the kids, the ball. You can actually make it a vertical photo. Sorry, son, I'm going to cut you out here, and just focus it on the child, the two kids with the basketball hoop. So see how I'm cropping into that. And I'm also now making it a smaller photo. So I'm changing the photo size from a 4x6 down to something smaller. What this does is it makes your layouts a little stronger because you do have a variety of sizes of photos rather than just the 4x6. It just helps you create a little bit more focus without all the distracting bits outside of your photos that people might be looking at or trying to figure out. Now, my friends say this to me sarcastically. They're always shouting out, crop to the action, but I'm telling you, I stand by it. So if you're not printing at home and you are printing your 4x6s, make sure that you're not always zooming all the way in with your camera or your phone so that you have a chance and the opportunity to make your photos smaller. Remember, the smaller the pictures, the more pictures you can get on your layouts. Now, if you are or are not familiar with Canva, it is a free app that you can download on your iPad, your iPhone, and Android phone. I believe there's also a desktop version. So this is the home screen, and what you want to do is find the create button or icon, which is up the purple plus sign that says create. So once you tap on that, it opens up a create a design screen. Now this can get very overwhelming, but I just want you to look for the icon, and it is called custom size. And the reason for that is when you're dealing with your photos, if you're going to start printing them at home, you really want the size of your project to be whatever you're printing out on. So once you select custom size, you can put the width and the height in there. And then the units defaults to pixels. So you want to first change that to whatever you're going to measure in, imperial or metrics. Now, I have a few defaults under my recents here. These are what I usually use. You can see I use 12 by 12, 24 by 12, 8.5 by 11. So now all I need to do is select the 8.5 by 11 option, because when I print my photos, I print on 8.5 8.5 by 11 photo paper. So I have found that however many photos I can fit on an 8.5 by 11 is usually the max that I can use on a 12 by 12 scrapbook layout. So, because if you think about 12 by 12, if you put an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper over a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, think about how much room that's going to take. That's a big, big, big determining factor for how many photos I include, and the sizes of my photos as well. You're going to come over here to the left, and you see all these icons, and you want to look for the camera roll. You tap on that and it opens up your camera roll. I want to show you next how I select my photos. We all, as scrapbookers, take tons of photos. We're constantly thinking about our layouts and what we're going to be scrapbooking in the future. Don't you tell me that you don't think that way. I know that you do. I actually had 33 photos of this event. We took my grandson to the playground. So as you can see at the very top here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 photos of them playing in this rope kind of jungle gym thing. Now, I don't need all those photos on my layout. I want the best one, or if 2 makes sense, then I'll do 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all these photos to my page. So you just start tapping on them and you'll see the numbers appear as you tap on them. And then down at the very bottom, it says add to page. So you just select that, and then it adds them to the page. Now it adds them on there fairly large, which for me and my eyesight is great, because now I can look at them closer to see, are they sharp, are they blurry, what exactly is great about this photo or not so great. So it helps eliminate and decide what you're going to use. So I'm going to close the camera roll here, and then we're going to look at these photos. Now, the first photo here, I absolutely love. It is sharp. It shows he's looking at the camera. He's not crying. So this is a great photo. So I am going to grab one of these circles in the corner, and I'm just going to make it smaller. It doesn't matter what size at this point, and I'm going to put it up in at the top, and that is pretty much selected in my mind. Now I'm just going to tap on the next photo and move it so that I can look at it. Now, this is a cute photo of my grandson. He's getting into the ropes, but it doesn't really tell me anything. He's not looking at the camera. There's not a lot of action going on, and it's not that different from the photo I've already selected. So I'm just going to hit the little trash can, and I am just going to delete that photo. Now, it didn't delete it from my camera roll. It just deleted it from this project. So then I go to the next photo, which is my husband just laughing or making faces at Oliver. Now, I like this photo because I love seeing my husband interact with Oliver this way. However, Oliver is almost out of the photo and he's looking to the left. So this one I'm going to think about a little bit. So I'm going to put this one up here. Now, this photo is a little bit better because I see both their faces. They are in the middle of the photo. And this is a perfect example of how I would crop this photo. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's crop to the action. So I am going to go up to the very top menu. You'll see the word flip. To the left of it, that's the cropping icon. So let's crop in here again to a 3x4. And then I can crop in or out however I want. See this yellow, I don't know, springy thing in the background? I'd love to get rid of that. So I'm trying to move this so that I'm keeping my husband in the frame, my grandson's hand in the frame, and I think that's good. So see how I cropped in? I don't see that big yellow thing in the background anymore. I've cropped in to the action in this photo. Now, obviously, if you would have printed that in a 4x6, you could have cut that down to cropping it into the action as well. Now, I already know that I like this photo better than the one up at the top. So I am going to this down and I am going to put this up here and I am going to get rid of this photo. So we're going to go to the next photo. So this one is about the same thing going on that's going on in the top photo that I already cropped. And there's not a lot of my husband, and I really can't crop down any further. And there's a lot of dead space up in the top left of this photo. So this one I'm going to delete as well. Now, this one is so cute. I love this photo of them because my husband is just like, come on, he's trying to talk him out of um, getting out of the jungle gym. And I actually really like the way my husband is positioned in the ropes. It's kind of centered and all the ropes are coming out from him. It just makes it interesting. But my grandson is looking down at the floor, at the ground. There's not a lot going on in the picture. If I would crop it down to get rid of that yellow thing in the background, it's going to crop a lot of the actual action out of the photo. So I'm actually going to eliminate that photo as well. So what I've come down to is a great picture of my grandson looking at the camera, and then a picture of my husband and my grandson actually playing inside with a good expression on his face. So those are two photos that I know I want to incorporate on my layout. Now, when you grab the circles on the either corner of these photos and you drag it, these numbers appear. And as you can see, you can make this 2x3, you can make it a 3x4, which is typically what I like for my scrapbooking layouts. So we're going to make this a 3x4, and we are going to make this one a 3x4 as well. So all I'm doing is, and I leave a space between them because I like a white border. And then I also make sure that they're lining up. So now you can see when I trim those pictures down, I'm going to have a white border and they will be ready for my layout. So there's one photo that I really want to show you that I know that I am going to want to include. And it is this one right here of the whole family walking back from the park. Now, this photo has a lot of dead space around it. Obviously, the focus or the action of the photo are the four of them. That is the focus. It's not the path, it's not the grass, it's not the spring trees, it's not the driveway into the school where the playground is. But you see all of that. And when you're looking at a photo, your brain actually takes in all of that. So you don't want the distraction pulled away from the action. I would eliminate, you could make it a square. You could cut it like this. That is an almost 4x4 square. So you could trim it like that. Knowing, because this is a 4x6, the height of it is 4. So then I would try to probably center this into a 4 or a 3x4. So I would probably crop it something like that. So now you can see that everything that would distract from the action is cropped away. This is a perfect example of what I would do with a 4x6 photo and cropping it down to a very nice focused 3x4. Now, I'm going to get rid of this crop. So what I really want to do though, and this is why I do everything in Canva, because what I want this to actually be, I want this to be a focal photo on the layout. What that means is it's going to be my hero photo or the focus of the layout. So it's going to be the biggest picture on the layout. Now, I usually use 4x6 for my largest photo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this photo. I'm going to go back to the crop and I am going to select the 2:3 aspect ratio, but I'm going to select it vertical so that it cuts out all that stuff on the side. Now, I feel like we could still lose some dead space. So what I'm going to do is pinch it and zoom it in so that my husband, so there's just a little bit. If I can get rid of that road on the side. Now that might be a little too much, so I'm going to pull it back just a little bit. That's going to be a great photo. And so now that's my 4x6. And so I'm going to pull this out to those numbers till they say 4x6. And there it is. And so now that's my 4x6. And so now I have two 3x4s and a 4x6. And yes, I do turn them sideways so that I get more on the 8.5x11 paper. And so, yep. And then I can turn this here. And so you can see that I can still get a couple of 3x4s and maybe even a 2x3 yet on my one page of my layout. So that's how I go about cropping and changing the sizes of my photos on Canva. Now, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can do in Canva that I will save for another time, as I really just wanted to show you how cropping your photos and deciding on their size and then also selecting. Um, and I'm telling you this right here, that is a way better picture than what it was. And all I did was crop to the action.
So, friends, whether you're printing your photos at home or ordering them from a photo service, cropping to the action just makes scrapbooking easier. I hope you enjoyed visiting my craft room today. As always, thanks for watching. Keep scrapping the stash. Bye bye for now.